Sunday and did pretty well for himself. So I feel like kind of got to go soO here. 4-1 versus Protoss. His record versus Protoss in individual leagues, you can look that up. There's a lot of really big numbers though. So if you look at it, you might hurt your eyes with how good he is versus Protoss. And the Protosses he's beaten, man, might make you sad. Like how many of them has he actually killed? How many of them has he eliminated from a Protoss-filled Code S 3 times in a row?
Yep, exactly
right.
He's
a Zerg hope, man.
He is. And he's up against this guy, Stork. He's 11-9, 2-1. Notably had some really nice momentum behind him. He did lose his last game, but still, he does have that momentum. Just not sure if he's on the same level.
Exactly right. You know, Stork has been doing really well, especially in this season, but I don't know if it's going to be enough against this kind of player.
It's going to be tough, man. He's got the crowd behind him, though, I feel. You know, there's a lot of SKT fans here, but I think a lot of people really want Stork to do well. A lot of people want to see an upset here today. If Stork's able to win it, we'll tie things up. Otherwise, soO is going to bring his team to a 2-0 lead. Let's find out right now on Frost.
Down here in the bottom right in the orange for SK Telecom, it is soO.
And over here to the bottom left, here are horizontal spawns. It's Stork. Been very focused. Stork fighting. GDSC equals GoSoO. Oh, I guess it's supposed to be an O, maybe like GoSoO StarCraft, perhaps. I recognize that name.
Maybe.
Maybe that's why you put the equal sign there, just for clarification. Or maybe it is GDSC, but shoutouts to GDSC and GoSoO StarCraft.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to both of them.
For sure. Maybe it's an old school clan. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's soO's old clan or Stork's old clan.
Never heard of it for Korea, but who knows?
Who knows?
So somebody's like, I know. I'm like, well, you can tweet at me.
Yeah, that would be the best way.
So let's see how Stork wants to open this. Gateway opening.
Wow, okay. This is kind of interesting considering the map. I feel like this map especially, you could get away with the Nexus first, but obviously always a risk against like 9 pools and whatnot. So
she came all the way from Busan with her dad.
Wow.
To see Stork.
That's a cool dad. To see Stork. So she's gone all the way from Busan to see a guy, and the dad is cool with it.
The dad is like, that's fine as long as I come with you.
That's a good dad.
And as long as you come back to the hotel before 10.
See, this is a perfect choice from soO. Going straight for the hatch first. No scouting, but it's it's okay. He's got an Overlord, second Overlord in position for a probe scout in case there's going to be any sort of cannon shenanigans.
Yeah, he's playing it pretty standard. Yeah. I don't really like 4-player maps for this because you're kind of like, it's sometimes really scary when you get just the incorrect scouting location. You're not really sure what's coming your way, but he leaves the Overlord there. He's going to be safe. He's going to be fine. Yeah. You see a chrono-boosted Zealot. That's going to be very aggressive.
This gateway came out so early, and he's even cutting gas. He only has 2 probes in that gas.
Wow. Hey, we could definitely see some kind of gateway all-in with this gas cutting. Like, we could, maybe. Or we could just see a really fast Nexus from it. We'll have to wait and see exactly.
Curious. Well, the one thing is for sure, the one thing he wanted was that one Zealot out really quickly. So maybe he's just trying to cancel a greedy third base before pool. I mean, the Zealot's going in the wrong direction.
Yep, he's going to scout the hatch first at the very least. He's going to see the pool timing. So he's going to be like, okay, so we can send that Zealot to the third base, start harassing, and we could see a Chroned out Stalker and a Chroned out Mothership Core to try and do a lot of damage and maybe even cancel it at this point.
Yeah, I really wish you could see how much chrono energy is on that Nexus. Warp Gate research started first, so looks like that's his priority here, and he's going to get the Mothership Core before Stalker. So,
well,
actually, no, he's not. He's like not getting either.
Well, look at this. This Zealot actually going to do a lot of work considering the pool isn't finished.
It's nowhere near done. There's no queen. He's just in there like...
Look at this. I mean, it's something.
Forcing some lost mining time.
Oh.
A lot of mining time. In fact, I mean, he's going to come back here and bring them back, and he's just going to be so annoying until that queen comes out.
But, I mean, at the same time, look how slow this Nexus is for him. I mean, sure, he got a Zealot out. Sure, it's going to do a little bit of harassment. Maybe get a drone. Maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But still, you've got a really slow Nexus because of it.
Yeah.
The big trade-off there. I mean, the Nexus is late, but did force a lot of lost mining time. He's forcing a lot of multitasking here. Once a queen pops out, though, he should be able to deal with it easily. I don't even know if he should be fighting with these lings.
Oh, he's got some pretty nice micro there. Yeah, he'll deal with it with 6 lings for sure, no matter how bad the trade.
And that's that. That's the end of that Zealot story.
Ooh.
4 gate.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a very aggressive build, but the Overlord scouts it all perfectly. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a Roach Warren down straight away.
Well, I mean, he's going to have to start that pretty soon if he wants to have it out in time, because this is not waiting. The probe is already ready.
Yeah.
Oh, if he sees it, he's definitely going to see it. He does see it. He targets it. Stork realizes, sends that mineral walk home, but he doesn't have a forward pylon now.
No.
Yep. He's not going to have that pylon. The warp gate and the 3 extra gates here are going to finish up, and he would have loved to be at the third base harassing, but very nicely done by soO to scout that out. He knows that this kind of thing is definitely possible when he sees those 3 extra gates. So.
Yeah, and I mean, a forge down is kind of the reaction, is a perfect kind of reaction to this, saying like, okay, I'm not going to get that proxy pylon down that I really wanted to, so I'm going to go into a +1 sort of style. And I mean, soO is invested purely in Zerglings for now. No Roach Warren. Gonna have Zergling speed soon though, but at the same time, like +1's gonna do a lot of work against that. Oh, but the Overlord scouts the forge, so he knows exactly what's up.
Yep,
So very important. Very, very important.
And there goes the Roach Warren. So +1 starts a little bit late here, but with all the sentries he's made with those warp ends, I think he could definitely still move across the map. He could just walk there, make a forward pylon, and be aggressive. So soO has to always consider this possibility, right? That's why he's made all these links. And he's like, okay, you didn't do it, so let me just see, do you have a third base? No. If you ever try to move out, I dare you to. I'm just going to snipe the probe, or at least try to kill your pylon. He's got so much awareness with these lings, so much control over the map. And Stork kind of has to sit back here uncomfortably in his base. He's even making like a cannon here. Yeah. That's going to be useful for later when he does move out, regardless of whether he moves out to take a third or whether he moves out to take an attack. But it looks more likely he might even just do a +2 attack later.
Maybe, but I mean, either way, he's in such a horrible position. And he's only got 1 gas mining in the main, which is very interesting as well.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
I think he's going to go for an expansion at this point. I don't think he can attack. And yeah, we're going to see an expansion because there's no real way that he's going to find a timing at this point. soO is just so ahead in economy, and no damage has been done with these early gateways.
And right now, Stork is pretty badly supply blocked. He was at 68-68 for like at least 20 seconds there. Observer pointed it out. He's only putting down 1 pylon now. And he just can't make units right now. He's banking up a lot of minerals.
And look at this. Still no probes in this gas in the main. He's chrono boosting Blink out, so he's obviously going to want to have gas eventually so he can make Stalkers. I think this is just a mistake at this point.
Yeah, could definitely be a mistake.
Well, this is a bit awkward, you know. Like everything has gone wrong for him starting off here for Stork, and he's got that gateway wall set up. He's got his third set up, but I mean, for soO, he's just playing so safely here. He's got that macro hatch coming up. He's not taking a 4th base right now. I feel like he could be, but he's just playing super safe because he knows that Stork is in such an awkward place that as long as he plays safe, he'll probably be okay. Do you think he'll take the 4th base to the top of his 3rd Moonglade? Is that?
I think that'd be the best position considering, like, you can just put Stalkers on top of the cliff at the bottom there, and you'll just kind of get harassed out, and you won't be able to mine properly. So yeah, putting it up top would be the best way to kind of deal with anything. And oh, some nice ling harass here. Getting a little bit done.
Yeah, get some done runs through. Distracts for the changeling even. Still in there behind the mineral line. And yeah.
Drone going up top, going to take that 4th base away from the Protoss, which is a very good idea.
Yeah, just like we were talking about.
And look at that Overlord spread above the 4th base. I love this because it's going to scout out any sort of Zealots coming in, any sort of proxy pylons or probes that are going to go up there. Very, very smart play by soO. Considering there's no Stargate units on the map to pick off Overlords, he has complete map control with Overlords if he desires.
Now that macro hatch is giving a lot of extra larva to make these lings that are going to follow up with this roach attack with a bunch of speedlings already with it. He's about to have +1. He's just going to straight up engage this. +2 is not ready yet for Stork, and Stork is just getting surrounded by lings. More lings coming to the right side. Great force fields there, but will it be enough? Once they fade, there's just so many roaches here, and he's already taking so many losses. The Zealots are at the front. They're actually being shot over that wall.
Wow, he's actually just trading completely with this. This is how far ahead he was.
Yeah, he doesn't even care. He's just going in with the fight. The force fields are really good, but it's just too much Zerg here. He's going to roll over a A desperation time warp, I guess, is coming in here, but soO's going to clean up this army.
All the rest of those Lings come in now. The Zealots are going to go down. Time warp helps out a lot here, but it's just not enough. The trade is poor, and his Spire is almost done. He can actually transition into either Swarmless or Mutalisk, whichever his heart desires, or even Corruptors if he saw Colossi here, which he doesn't see, because he has an Infestation Pit. Spire's almost done. He's about to go into those 6 gases. Can actually go up to 8 with that 4th base too. It's going to take him a little bit longer to actually, finish Stork off. Stork took a bad trade, but he's still hanging in there. He's still alive.
Yeah, he definitely has the kind of composition to deal with Ling Roach especially, so long as he takes good engagements. But I mean, as long as soO doesn't over-engage, doesn't go too far in, he can trade pretty effectively until Muta's
immortal.
Ready. Yeah. Got to be careful here.
Yeah, it's actually not working out as well for him as he would like. The Blink Stalker Micro from Stork is superb here. And nice trick.
Overcommitting a little bit there. Stork with that Blink Micro doing very nicely. And he's going to chase after these guys, actually, and pick off a lot of those roaches. He's going to be able to back off. But still, soO taking that 4th base. He's going right into Muta, Ling, and getting even the melee upgrades, as well as the air upgrades as well. Looks like he wants to do a bit of a switch here.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's going to have Ling upgrades to kind of help deal with the Stalkers especially. So if you're going to go Ling Muta like this, and we see nothing but Blink Stalkers and maybe some Sentry, Muta Ling can do very, very well. And we see the Mutas go in, do a little bit of harassment, but Stork is really on point.
Good pullback here. No sort of cannons in the main base, so the Mutalisk count isn't quite that high yet. It's not that super threatening count. Right now, Stork's probably wondering, how much are you really going to commit to this? He has to make a tough choice whether or not he wants to add those Stargates because, he doesn't really know if it's a big commitment on this map. And he doesn't have so much of a gas bank. He continues to make Immortals here because he's scared of the roaches.
And I mean, judging by the production of Stork, he is going to go for a massive Blink Stalker kind of attack. He's just going to stick on Stalkers, and he's just going to attack from that. He's not going to go for Archon. He's not going to go for Colossi. He thinks his tech is good enough, and he's in a good enough position, especially trading with those Ling Roaches, that he can just walk across the map at a point. But he's going to be very careful, I mean, but these Mutas keep trading with Stalkers like this when they're not kind of like in a critical mass. So they're not one-shotting Stalkers. They're not trading that efficiently, so soO has to be a little bit careful not to over-engage.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of overconfidence out of soO the entire game. I mean, he knows he's way ahead, and maybe he just wants to keep it down because he knows his economy is so good, but still, like you mentioned, not the most favorable trades for him.
I'd be more worried if he didn't have this 5th base going up to the top right. That says to me that he knows where he's at right now, and he knows that he can take some of these trades, and he is going to have this 5th base to fall back on. He's also got these backstab potentials with this big group of Ling Roach that's still around, still alive. He's got 62 Lings on the map, and they're always going to force these units to turn around. He doesn't really want to engage this, I don't feel, directly right now, though. That's a tight wall there with the Stalkers and a great little choke point. Every time the Stalkers move away, though, he threatens. Every single time. He's never going to commit. Oh my god, that should not have happened.
No, and Ling's going to run across the map and try and engage these Stalkers, and Muta's going to help try and clean this up. And if he loses this chunk of Stalkers, he might as well kiss this game goodbye.
Certainly true, Moonblade. He loses 4 right away. Looks like he's going to lose a lot more than that. Now he can actually fight this army straight up, I feel. With this many Mutas, the Roaches, and the Lings, there's way too much for him to take. The Lings streaming through those force fields. There's not enough sentries left. The Immortals doing the best they can here, but there's just now too many Mutalisks with Lings on the ground for support.
Reinforcement Lings come in, and the Muta is just so many. He's got 20 in the air, even 10 Roaches to back this up, and the Stalkers are going to try to do some Blink Micro, trying to warp in something here, but this 3rd base is basically forfeit.
He pretty much thought he was in a Stork pretty much thought he was in a great position considering how well he traded with the Roachling early on. But I mean, at the same time, soO was getting a 4th and a 5th base, getting that gas he needs. Oh, and a nice dance. GG. Just overconfidence by Stork, especially staying on nothing but Stalkers. You can do that to a point, especially if you're ahead. But I mean, soO was in complete control the whole game.
Now, the longer soO does not smile, the more I smile, man. He almost smiled.
He almost, it was close. We may have had a frown out of it.
The longer that soO becomes like this more and more angry Zerg, when he just beats people, he doesn't smile. He doesn't even crack a smile. He just like looks like, yeah, well, the point, I got it. It's over. Let's move on to game 3. Our team's going to take a 3-0. I'm actually just already thinking about season 3 of the GSL.
Oh, yep. I believe it. I believe it for sure. He's a stone cold killer,
Yeah. Speaking of the GSL, a bit of a side note, I will be at the qualifiers tomorrow. doing a little bit of radio broadcast. As long as I can keep an internet connection, I'll be bringing coverage of that. So tomorrow, tune into that. Also, we got an update that for sure the triple GG, like the GGG, actually does give a warning and does take that extra point, like you were talking about, Brendan. So instead of being at 4-2 with +5, Thompson's current score is 4-2 with a +4.
Wow.
So that hurts, and now they're down 2 points in this series.